So obviously on this first slide, one thing that is not too appealing is the way the title is tilted. I know everyone wants to be creative and following that everyone has their own personal way or touch and preference on how to do that, but in my opinion, this just doesn't come across as professional along with some of the other characteristics of my following slides. Next, I mean, obviously, this one's the vibrant color just doesn't come off as appealing. It takes away from the information and what you may be saying. And on top of that, there's way too many words. I'd say even just talking and the words you're, I guess, saying during your speech, this would be the max amount you'd want to probably spend on a slide, and that's pushing it, but most certainly not have this many words on a single slide. It takes too long, and at that point you're pretty much going word from word on what you're saying and what's on the slide. And I believe this transition is a little extreme. I'm pretty particular about how transitions and slides come across, and in my personal opinion, I'd say quite often transitions can be, I guess, too aggressive or just too extreme and take away from what you're trying to tell them. But it mostly just depends. That could just be my personal opinion and not everyone else's. And on this slide, once again, I incorporated a random picture of a cut up steak. It has nothing to do with the topic, and on top of that, it stands out way too much, so you can't really see anything word wise, and on top of that, there's not much wording there. Ideally, you don't want to have much, I guess, text on a certain particular slide, but this is just, in my opinion, too little. But you can always further elaborate, but definitely the picture does not work in this slide. And following this, like I said earlier, I'm pretty particular of what's on each slide and the backgrounds, and these are just easier to read. It gives your audience something to kind of skim through at first to give them a general understanding of what you're about to elaborate on and talk about. So the spacing in this too makes it easy to distinct the two different points that you went over and subpoints included in those. And then same goes for this slide. Just I'm a fan of simple and I guess clean and nothing too extra. So it may be boring to some others, but it's what I guess I've been used to. And lastly, this slide, I mean, everything's spaced, so you have three different points and a subpoint, and this gives you room to kind of elaborate on stuff further and give more information on what you're talking about.